All right, so now we're going to talk about how do we find angles. We looked in the previous video at how to find missing sides of a triangle, but how can we use trigonometry to find us missing angles? Well, if sine theta is x, remember sine is an operation, if sine theta is x, then theta would be the inverse sine of x. And the notation that we use for inverse sine is sine with an exponent of -1. This is read inverse sine of x. What we're essentially doing is taking the inverse sine of both sides. It's no different than if we have x squared equals 4. To undo the square, we square root both sides, and these two things cancel each other out. They undo each other. Here, the sine and the inverse sine, they'll undo each other. So just to sort of sum this up and apply it to other trig functions, if tangent theta equals y, then theta is equal to the inverse tangent of y. If cosine theta equals, I don't know, p, theta would equal the inverse cosine of p. Now let's use it. Here we go. We've got two triangles. I want to know the angles. I've got some sides. I could find the third side using the Pythagorean theorem. But I want to know the angle. I don't care about the third side. Pretty confident we can all get that. So, theta. What sides do we have? We have the opposite side. We have the adjacent side. We're talking tangent. Tangent theta equals opposite over adjacent, 4 over 7. So theta would be the inverse tangent of 4/7. That's our exact answer. Our exact answer is that theta is the inverse tangent of 4/7 degrees. But we can use the calculator to approximate. Now here's where you have to be conscious of what mode you're in. My calculator, it's in degrees. For more information, see the calculator video that I posted too. What I'm doing, I'm going trig inverse tangent 4 divided by 7. 29.74 degrees. There we go. And we could use simple subtraction to find the third angle if we wanted to. Second one. Here's theta, 2.67. That's adjacent to the angle. It's touching it. 5.92 is the hypotenuse. What trig function are we using? We're using cosine. It equals the adjacent, 2.67, divided by the hypotenuse, 5.92. So bear with me a second. What's theta? Well, exactly, it's going to be the inverse cosine of 2.67 over 5.92. But approximately, calculator time, inverse cosine, and I'm not going to remember these decimals, so let me kick this out of the way. 2.67 divided by 5.92 and double check to make sure I have this right. I think I do. I close the parentheses, I push enter, we've got 63.19 degrees. So to sum this up, when we take the sine of an angle, we're going to get a number, a fraction. When we take the inverse sine or inverse cosine or inverse tangent of some fraction, we're going to get an angle as an answer. Inverse trig finds us angles.